Thanks for downloading a 3CR podcast. 3CR is an independent community radio station based in Melbourne, Australia. We need your financial support to keep going. Go to www.3cr.org.au for more information and to donate online. Now stay tuned for your 3CR podcast.
We're putting up new buildings, we're knocking down the old. We're working in the summer heat and in the winter cold. And the labour power we sell, me boys, for a hard-earned weekly pay produces mighty profits for the greedy MBA. And whether we were born here or born in Italy, in Greece, in Spain or Ireland, in England or Fiji, we all of us are workers, united we must stand, until the wealthy bludgers have been driven from our land. We faced deregistration, it backfired in the face. We're not fooled by arbitration, we won't stay in our place. We hit the bosses hard and fast to win and keep our gains, and break a couple of concrete pours to back our log of claims. So keep your powder dry and hold your head up high. It's class to class and face to face, our limit is the sky. We've got a fighting history and we never will be cowed. Our builders' labour is a name to make a man feel proud.
And it's good morning from the Concrete Gang. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and having the earphones ripped off my head by an angry gorilla. Brother, settle in. It's Christmas coming. It's all going to get better.
I'm getting excited, mate, because it's on the countdown for the... Anyway, we should say good morning to the listeners.
Good morning to the listeners, yes.
Hope you're enjoying your breakfast this morning, because we only got, 3 weeks to go?
Indeed.
The picnic tomorrow?
Indeed.
What else we got to look forward to?
We've got Colin to look forward to.
Good morning.
And Bustling Buster.
Morning all.
Oh, how's that?
Cool as.
He's like that. He sounds like, what's that bloke that sings like that? What's his name? The big... No, not Kamal.
Kamal.
Barry White.
Well, Rolf Harris.
You're thinking of the man in black.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah.
Bustling Buster is here this morning because guess who absolutely failed miserably to make it to the end of the season?
Stuck on the West Coast.
He's just stuck in another world. Anyway, good morning, Buzzer. I hope you're enjoying your little adjournment from the Concrete Gang. We'll see you next year.
2 weeks running.
He's not enjoying it as much as we are.
Anyway, let's just get serious now because the Concrete Gang wishes to send our sympathy and condolences to Alison and all the family of Johnny Parker, who passed away so tragically last weekend. John was an organiser for, first of all, the ASC&J. Yeah, I think he ended up Assistant Secretary of the ASC&J in the old days, and then became a trainer and then an organiser for the CFMEU. And Johnny Parker was old-fashioned bloke, good country boy, and I tell you what, he would drive any distance to get to where the members were working and look after their interests. He did, of course, have a favourite phrase, let's put the car across the drive, and did it quite often. A few prosecutions. Nigel Hatchcus didn't like him, so that's definitely a gold star on the forehead for the late Johnny Parker, who was, as we say, a country boy, and he is going to be remembered next Wednesday afternoon, 2 o'clock, Warrigal Showgrounds. There will be a memorial service at a little venue within the showgrounds called Danny's. So 2 o'clock, South Road, Warrigal, at the Warrigal Showgrounds. Hope we can see a lot of people there because Johnny Parker did a hell of a lot of work for not just the CFMEU, but for the trade union movement generally. He was Secretary of the Gippsland Trades and Labour Council, and also for the Gippsland community, and before that in Ballarat, Bendigo and all places north-west of those two cities. Anyway, Vale, Johnny Parker, great bloke.
Yeah.
Rightio. We've got the picnic tomorrow.
Yes.
Let's have a report from the gorilla about how he's going to organise the picnic.
Well, I've got the sack,
Well, things are improving.
Apparently they've got, some mob running it now, so we don't have to be at the front gate and all that. But anyway, so, but I'll still be there because we're going to be handing out the Concrete Gang fridge magnets and stickers and that, so we'll be kicking around the picnic out the front gate. So make sure if you have a look for us and get your fridge magnet, they're fantastic. Old String Bean's done a marvellous job there. And make sure you have a look at the old Pro Bill jobs right at the front of Caulfield. They'll see the banners up there. The boys have all thrown some money in together and bought a banner that welcome you to the picnic. So it's a good start to the day when you see that on a construction site. And it's going to be a fantastic day. They've gone spared no expense of getting all the right gadgets and gear for all the kids and music and all sorts of things. So they're trying to improve it every year. I think we've improved every year. It gets better and better. So look forward to make sure you're having a day, and when you go in there, make sure you get your ticket stamped so you can get paid. Most important, because the bosses now are making sure that if you don't come back with your ticket stamped, you don't get paid. So one way of keeping the picnic going is make sure you support it by buying a ticket, and secondly by turning up. So but look forward. I think the weather's going to be great, and I think it'll be a fantastic day. What do you think about that, brothers?
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Well, it's not only going to be great, it's probably potentially going to be one of the biggest picnics we've ever had in Melbourne. And when you add all the regional picnics to that, it is probably in fact it is one of the biggest union events anywhere in the country. So to all the people involved in the picnic committee and all the people involved in picnic committees all around the state, well done. And I'm sure that they'll be looking forward to the end of the picnic tomorrow, because it's a lot of hard work goes in, and they all need to have a little sit down and a quiet ale and just look back on what is going to be a very good day out for all the members and their families.
And the weather's looking fantastic too.
It's a good thing about it. It's a good way of catching up blokes you haven't seen around the industry for years. You see some blokes, you see families grow up every year. You get there and you see blokes and the kids, and it's fantastic. It's a really good day. The good thing is now it's at Caulfield. They haven't got that running race, because I remember one bloke that's on this panel, we used to have to wait, to put the lights on, wait for him to come home. People would still be leaving about 11:30 at night waiting for someone to get over the finishing line.
At least I could get around 1.6 kilometres, unlike a certain other party who could go nameless, though he likes to talk about it.
I didn't mention any names. Did I mention any names?
You didn't?
I didn't mention a name, did I?
Yeah.
But you alluded to one.
Yeah, several times.
What do they say about the milling dog or pack of wolves? What is it?
Throw a rock into a pack of melon dogs. The one that yelps the loudest is the one you hit, and he hit me right between the eyes. But I did it.
And the snake charmer's not coming.
No more snake stories. It could be a.
Sorry. I think we should remember him. He nearly fell off the perch, the old snake charmer.
Prophet of doom. Anyway, just also on the subject of get-togethers, last Thursday was the retired and life members' Christmas lunch, and it was a highly successful and much enjoyed day out, I can tell you, because they were still leaving at 3:30 in the afternoon, and most of them were planning on kicking on elsewhere.
Fantastic.
So all of those blokes, and it was great to see some of the blokes that were there.
How many were there, Warren?
Over 120.
That's fantastic.
And there's a lot of blokes who obviously couldn't get there because they ain't been in the best of health. And a cheerio to Johnny Canning, cheerio also to Peter Voigt, and a couple of other blokes whose names will come back to me, I'm sure, as I talk, who have not been in the best of health. But some of them, I've got to tell you, my great friend and a great leader of the trade union movement was there yesterday, Normie Wallace. Absolute great man, Normie Wallace. And as he said, hearing ain't the best, but I'll tell you what, the brain was working absolutely brilliantly. He summed up the situation of where the trade union movement was, what had to be done. He did it in about 5 seconds, and I tell you what, with some of our leaders these days in the trade union movement, and we won't mention some of the ex-leaders of the trade union movement who spruik so much, they could learn a lot from a bloke like Normie Wallace. A bloke who actually was part of the commando force that entered Singapore Harbour and mined all the Japanese warships, and lived to work in the building industry and bring a whole lot of that determination and dedication to the task. So cheerio to all those boys. Yeah. There'll be a lot of pictures and stuff in the next journal, and I got to say, there was the usual attendees, but a new attendee, the lovely Edna.
Oh, yeah.
Edna was invited along, and Edna was what will we say, an absolute stalwart of all the jobs and the crane crews, the blokes rigging cranes and pulling them down. Edna would turn up with coffee and donuts and stuff and look after a lot of blokes on some very hard shifts, and she was recognised yesterday.
I think she was made life member there for DFA too.
That's
I think.
right. She is indeed.
You people that don't know, as Warren touched on there,
Fred, Barry, Gareth, and Gavin, and
I'm just trying to get a word in here. That's all I'm trying to do. But she used to come around and on the Sundays, the weekends when the blokes putting the cranes up and bring cakes and scones and stuff and drinks for all the boys out of her own kick, So she's got a heart of gold, but she'd never forget it. She's a good person, doing what she did out of her own kick. So I think she should never be forgotten, looked after well as the union's doing. And the union should be congratulated on the past members' turn and all that, because in that room there was 120 blokes. They're the blokes who fought for all the conditions we've got here today, and they should be celebrated and they should be looked after as well as we can. And it's a fantastic effort by the union. I hope it gets better and stronger and goes on forever.
Here, Gorilla.
Righto, and some of them were probably retired members and that, and younger than me. But never mind. Moving right along.
Yeah, we're going to cut to a track here.
We're going to cut to a track, and this is REM.
No, it's not.
It is.
Oh, we're doing that one.
It's REM, and it's a long track, but which we'll have to cut short. Just
let's just cut it short
in
now.
memory of Johnny Parker.
Awesome.
Concrete gang, here to stay. Don't fight, you lose. Dare to struggle, dare to win.
We'll fight for our rights, that's what we do.
There it is. REM, Everybody Hurts. And that's just a quieter moment to remember the one and only Johnny Parker, who put so much into the trade union movement and his community. And we hope to see as many people as possible next Wednesday at the Warrigal Showgrounds, South Road, Warrigal, to remember the life and contribution of Johnny Parker. And Johnny Parker actually worked on a job where I can say I appeared at the start of my illustrious career in the construction industry. A bit like your good self, Gorilla.
I was a bricky's labour, worked like a slave down there.
Yeah, well, I worked for the major contractor, so I didn't.
Was that appearance money?
I regularly jumped the fence for a sad day at home and not actually... Anyway, we won't go into that. There was a lot of people worked there.
What about you knew there was going to be a bomb scare? All the boats were in the car park, remember?
All on the trailers on a Wednesday, midweek races, off we go. I picked 4 out of 5 winners at Cranbourne one meeting.
Oh, I don't believe that.
And after that it went downhill, so I gave a betting away. It wasn't any good.
Never
At least they
stopped
had
us.
enough sense to give it away. But anyway, we won't go into that.
Ooh, another one in the ribs. Another one in the ribs.
What about you?
Jeez, Gorilla, how you feeling?
Anyway,
Bit bruised, mate.
Thick
One
hide,
day-
mate, thick hide.
One day, what we will do is have a little memory session on the Carrum Down shit farm.
Yes.
Because the number of people that worked there that went on to become serious activists in the trade union movement and make a contribution included a whole lot of people, not just Johnny Parker, but blokes like Johnny Canning. There was Johnny McPartlin. Heaps and heaps of people.
Martin Bingham.
Indeed. And yesterday, a couple of the blokes were at the function for the retired members. So we might just do a little session on that later, because between the shit farm and the Westgate Bridge, there's a hell of a lot of people
That's right,
that
yeah.
then went on to provide the leadership of a number of unions over a long period of time. And we won't talk about all the other stuff that went on the job. Righto, moving right along. This week there was a decision handed down by a full court of the High Court dealing with sham contracting. And that's an interesting problem at any time, but what the High Court has actually done has handed down a decision which closed off a loophole which was being used by various parties. And basically how it works is major contractor employs subcontractor, who then employs gang leader, who employs so-called
Gang leader.
subcontractors, independent contractors. Now, the problem for the major subby is that he's now going to be held responsible for those people. If they are not genuine independent contractors, he's wearing it. So the old days, only a couple of weeks ago, what he could do was put the gang leader in between and exploit the loophole. So it was not a case of sham contracting because there was this other party in between. What the High Court has decided is the Fair Work Act is very clear. Doesn't matter how many people you stick in between. If you're providing the labour, however you are providing the labour, you are responsible. So, folks, the plastering industry might have a bit of a problem. And it's all going to be because the High Court decided that they are crooks. Oh dear, how sad. Moving right along.
So look out, we're coming.
Well, I tell you what, the decision was made in relation to Quest, which is basically a hotel apartment type business. But there, the housekeepers were employed by a gang leader, for want of a better term, who in turn provided the labour to Quest. And Quest have been held responsible for those people. So I guess that decision, from my mind, and having taken some legal review of the decision, applies to every case of sham contracting in the construction industry, and one party in particular, for those who know and love troubleshooters.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, even what they've got on their website is a breach of this decision of the High Court, and therefore a breach of the Fair Work Act. Oh dear, Chris, enjoy. Righto, moving right along. There was a raid, as people would know, at the Canberra office of the Union, followed by another raid at the Queensland branch of the Union, where the Turk task force went charging in the door and did some very unchristian things, and now they've been held to account.
They certainly have, and as we know, eating McDonald's isn't illegal, but it was an operational security measure that the Australian Federal Police said that while they were raiding the office, they actually went and had McDonald's. So that became part of their whole...
Did they pay for it?
I have no idea.
Or are they part of that deal that McDonald's give coppers free McDonald's?
Maybe. But they were
Corruption.
They were seen on security camera during the raid at McDonald's, and that actually became part of the raid. So that just shows how absolutely ridiculous it all was. And they have to return all the paperwork they confiscated, I believe. And it's an illegal raid. It's been deemed an illegal raid. It's fantastic.
Destroy all the electronic information they collected.
So they weren't in turn raiding McDonald's as well?
Maybe that's how they got it for free.
Maybe they should have. Maybe they should have.
They were trying to give Ronald McDonald the high hard one, I think, or something. I don't know.
Anyway.
All the hamburger.
Anyway, our good friends from the Turk Task Force, that's called formerly, I think, Task Force Hercules, are still running around our industry. They're trying to interview all sorts of people, and they are asking people to come along and have a talk about the industry. Anyway,
they're trying to find friends.
They're trying to find friends because the task force is going to continue, we think, even though the Royal Commission is coming to an end at the 31st of this month. Also, I should add that the Queensland branch is also taking legal action in the Supreme Court of Queensland against the Turk Task Force, and hopefully we'll have a few more precedents created about how the police can have any say in industrial affairs.
All right, well, we better get on to the scallywags. We're running out of time there, brothers.
Just one last thing.
Sorry.
Christmas push. Don't
Yes.
forget.
Oh, yes.
There are too many people out there. There's injuries are going up, and there could be fatalities, unfortunately, as the push goes on. So if you reckon you're getting pushed, put the old hand up and say no.
Push back.
Push back. Righto, scallywags.
Yep, got a couple there, Warren. Fiasco formwork on a fiasco by name, fiasco by nature.
Hey, Cisco, fiasco.
It's a problem in the industry where form workers, concreters go onto these jobs that they reckon are non-union. They've got an agreement with the branch, and then they decide, we don't have to pay CBUS or Incolink or the side allowance because there's nobody here watching me, basically. And then come the end of the job, all the boys come into the office and say, we were on a commercial job employed by, in this case, Fiasco Formwork. We want our CBUS, our Incolink, and our side allowance. And all of a sudden the builder's involved and he's got to put his hand in his pocket and things have to be fixed up because all sorts of promises were made at the beginning of the job that, don't worry about it, we'll be right, you just quote it this way and you'll get the job. And all of a sudden people are owed a lot of money. And a lot of these concreters are in strife at the moment for doing that.
And Rabbit, you're right. You're 100% right because they work for these non-EBA bills. And the reason they get the jobs is because they sacrifice the members' super, Incolink and RDOs. That's how they get the jobs.
Yep.
And we should just mention that last week a certain party got named, Soulcrete, and this week they put off 40 blokes.
Yeah, a perennial
anyway,
problem.
Just before the 10 days kicks in where you've got to pay the public holidays. Righto, we've also got spec builders.
Yes.
Our old mate, Mal Rattel.
Yes, old Mal. Once again, this is tied to the push at the end of the year, trying to hand the apartment block over to its owner prior to the break. So turn up on the job, no traffic management, no power line spotter. Where are they? Oh, they're here on the job somewhere. They've been told to go up and clean rooms and do all sorts of things. And boom lift working perilously close to the power lines. The spotter's not in place. Everything was wrong about that job. Absolutely everything. On a main road out in Camberwell Road. Not good enough, Mal. Not good enough.
Righto. Now we've got Voss, the builders down in Tassie who have done everything wrong that they can possibly do. We've got Kilmay and Lexicon who are absolutely breaking the 40-metre limit.
42 metres, got the crane up.
Yep. And we've also got our good friend Brussels.
Brussels buying tickets for AC/DC in the mosh pit. I'll be the oldest bloke in the mosh pit.
Brussels, you're going to win this, son, the way you're going. And last but not least, Suki Lala Award of the Year.
He's going to win it.
Michael Clemenger.
The greatest whinger we've had so far. Every time he gets a mention, he's whinging, he's sending text messages, he threatening to send visa workers to his jobs and all that. And well, young Michael, the way you're going, mate, you're gonna make yourself a star on the show.
I could just see him sitting in the driveway on Sunday morning listening to the Concrete Gang in his car.
Yeah, in his two-door Mercedes.
Yeah, with the sunroof open.
Yeah, his big buff head sticking out.
G'day, Mike.
And of course, Yap would be the one telling him what's going on.
Righto.
Who's won it?
Who's won it? Listen.
I'm going Brussels. Let's give it to Brussels.
No,
too hard, isn't it?
That's a crime against humanity.
Yeah,
not
but
against
it won't
the
be you in
construction.
the mosh pit, will it?
You'll be right, mate. You'll be right.
I'm a bit inclined to go for Fiasco.
Yeah.
Well, Fiasco it is.
Fiasco. All right. Congratulations.
And we'll go out the same old way.
Dare to struggle.
Dare to win.
If you don't fight,
you lose. And we're going
out from the Concrete Gang, and we're going out with a track dedicated to
our mate
Michael.
It's Dingoes going down again.
You've been listening to a 3CR podcast produced in the studios of independent community radio station 3CR in Melbourne, Australia. For more information, go to allthews.3cr.org.au.